Meet Herodotus, born way back in 484 BCE. He's known as the Father of History, a title given to him for his amazing book. This book tells the story of the Greco-Persian Wars, a huge fight between the East and the West. But it's more than just about battles. It teaches us about the geography, cultures, and societies of the ancient world. Herodotus had a new way of recording history. He did his research, but also knew how to tell a good story, which changed how history was written forever. Herodotus was born in Halicarnassus, a place that played a big part in how he saw the world. Now called Bodrum in Turkey, this busy port city was a mix of different cultures. Even though it was ruled by the Persians, it held on to its Greek identity while also being influenced by the larger empire. This mix of cultures made Herodotus curious about different people and their ways. We don't know everything about his family, but it's thought that he came from a wealthy family with a love for literature, which might be why he loved stories so much. Herodotus's most famous work is a monumental achievement in the world of literature and history. Written in the 5th century BCE, it stands as a testament to his ambition and originality. This extensive work is not just a record of wars and battles. It's a comprehensive exploration of the ancient world. Herodotus meticulously documented the cultures, traditions, and daily lives of various civilizations. Through his writings, readers embark on a journey across different lands, from the vast Persian Empire to the mysterious realms of Egypt and the nomadic tribes of Scythia. His detailed descriptions bring these ancient worlds to life. Herodotus carefully describes the lands, customs, and beliefs of the Persians, Egyptians, Scythians, and various Greek city-states. His work serves as a valuable resource for understanding the diversity and complexity of these ancient cultures. He's really good at weaving these cultural facts into the story of the Greco-Persian Wars. His narrative not only covers the military aspects, but also delves into the political and social dynamics of the time. The book is divided into 9 parts, each named after a muse, showing his love for literature and the arts. This structure reflects his deep appreciation for the cultural heritage of Greece. Herodotus makes history exciting with vivid descriptions, conversations, and stories. His engaging style captivates readers, making them feel as if they are witnessing the events firsthand. But Herodotus doesn't just tell stories, he also delves into big ideas, like what happens when different cultures clash. He explores the consequences of these interactions and the lessons that can be learned from them. He examines what freedom and tyranny mean in different contexts, providing insights into the values and governance of ancient societies. Herodotus also contemplates how fate and destiny play a role in human lives, offering a philosophical perspective that adds depth to his historical accounts. His work remains a cornerstone for anyone interested in the ancient world. What made Herodotus different from other historians was that he wanted to see things for himself. He was so curious that he traveled all over the Mediterranean and even further. He explored the Persian Empire, sailed down the Nile River, and even went to the lands of the Scythians. These weren't just vacations, they were important for his research. Everywhere he went, Herodotus talked to people. He chatted with priests, officials, and everyday people to understand their views on things. He also looked at oracles, studied inscriptions, and examined monuments, trying to see if what people said matched up with the physical evidence. During his extensive travels across the ancient world, Herodotus spent a significant amount of time in the vibrant city of Athens. This city, known for its intellectual and cultural dynamism, became a crucial stop in his journey. Athens was teeming with brilliant minds and offered Herodotus a unique opportunity to share his work, engage in deep discussions, and meet other prominent thinkers of the time. The bustling marketplaces and public forums were perfect venues for these exchanges. It is widely believed that during his stay, Herodotus had the chance to meet some of the most influential figures of the era, including the renowned playwright Sophocles and the influential politician Pericles. These interactions likely enriched his understanding of the political and cultural landscape of Athens. These encounters and discussions with the intellectual elite of Athens probably played a significant role in shaping his perspectives and deepening his insights into Athenian society and the broader Greek world. Later in life, Herodotus decided to settle in Thurii, a Greek colony located in southern Italy. This new environment provided him with a peaceful setting to continue his scholarly pursuits. In Thurii, he dedicated himself to refining and expanding his historical works, incorporating new information and insights he had gathered from his extensive travels and meticulous research. His commitment to documenting the histories and cultures he encountered remained unwavering, and he continued to add valuable details to his narratives. The exact date of Herodotus's death remains uncertain, but it is generally believed to have occurred sometime between 430 and 413 BCE, possibly during the devastating plague that struck Athens, which claimed many lives and left a lasting impact on the city. Herodotus's new way of looking at history, while groundbreaking, wasn't without criticism. Some people back then, especially a historian named Thucydides, didn't believe everything Herodotus wrote. They said he exaggerated stories, listened to rumors, and was biased towards the Greeks. Because of this, some people even called him the father of lies. Today's historians agree that while Herodotus's work is super important, we have to be careful with it. His methods weren't as strict as how historians work today, so sometimes he included information that wasn't accurate or couldn't be proven. Plus, his own background and experiences definitely influenced how he saw things. Even with the criticisms, is still one of the most important books in Western literature and helps us understand the ancient world. Herodotus's exciting descriptions and storytelling make the past come alive. His work gives us valuable insights into the thoughts, beliefs, and customs of the many different people who lived around the ancient Mediterranean Sea. What's more, shows us how the idea of history itself evolved. Herodotus tried hard to figure out what happened in the past, comparing different versions of stories and trying to separate truth from lies. His efforts, even if they weren't perfect by today's standards, laid the foundation for how we study history today. There's no doubt that Herodotus influenced historians who came after him. Known as the father of history, Herodotus was one of the first to collect his materials systematically and critically, and then to arrange them into a historiographic narrative. His work, The Histories, is a record of his inquiry on the origins of the Greco-Persian Wars. He established important rules for studying history, such as doing your own research, verifying facts, and cross-referencing sources. This was revolutionary at a time when myths and legends were often accepted as truth without question. Herodotus emphasized the importance of looking at different sources and perspectives, which allowed for a more comprehensive understanding of events. He also included cultural observations in his historical accounts, providing a richer context for the events he described. His engaging writing style set a standard for others, inspiring them to make history interesting for everyone. Herodotus's narratives were not just dry accounts of events, they were filled with vivid descriptions and fascinating stories that captured the imagination of his readers. The debate about whether Herodotus is the father of history or the father of lies shows us that our understanding of history is always changing. Some critics argue that his accounts were biased or exaggerated, while others defend his work as a pioneering effort in the field of historiography. It reminds us that trying to be objective about the past is difficult and that we need to think critically about our sources. Herodotus himself acknowledged the challenges of separating fact from fiction, often presenting multiple versions of events and leaving it to the reader to decide what to believe. Herodotus's work, with its strengths and weaknesses, continues to shape how we learn about and understand history. His approach to gathering and presenting information laid the groundwork for future historians, and his influence can still be seen in the way history is studied and written today. Herodotus is remembered for being the first historian to go beyond simply listing events. He understood that to really understand history, you have to understand the cultures, societies, and beliefs that shaped it. While his work might have some mistakes and biases, it's still incredibly valuable for understanding the ancient world. The debate about whether he got things right or wrong doesn't make his work less important. Instead, it shows us how complex it is to interpret history and why his work is still relevant today. Herodotus, both father of history and father of lies, encourages us to be curious about history, but also to think critically about what we're learning.